What's going on, everybody? It's Matt Marchese, also known as Islanders Daily, your daily news from the four-time Stanley Cup champions, New York Islanders. And when this video comes out, it will be opening night for the New York Islanders as they travel to take on the Pittsburgh Penguins in what is the Islanders' first game of the year and will be the Penguins' second game of the year. And this, is kind of a shock, I think. I don't think a lot of people thought the Penguins were going to beat the Rangers, but the Penguins will be coming into this game with a 1-0 record after beating the Rangers, and they look pretty solid in that game, the Penguins. Definitely better than I thought they were going to be this season, but the Islanders have a chance now. They were able to see how the Penguins played. They saw what the Penguins did and how the Penguins performed as a team as a whole, so it should give the Islanders maybe a little advantage having, seen what the Penguins are doing. Of course, the Penguins do have their legs underneath them with playing that game. At this time, I don't know who the starting goaltender for the Penguins will be, but I will assume it will be Artur Silvas again for the Penguins after pitching a shutout against the New York Rangers, having 25 shots attempted and making all 25 saves. So he looked good, Silvas, for the Penguins in his first game as a Pittsburgh Penguin, joining them. He beat out Tristan Jarry for that starting job, which, it's not really that big of a shock because Tristan Jarry's definitely declined over the recent years and is definitely not that goalie the Penguins thought he would be. But yeah, so the Islanders saw Sivas. He's an interesting goalie. I don't think a lot of people thought much about him, but he looked good in that first game. So the Islanders are going to definitely have to do something about that. And then obviously Justin Brazeau put up 2 goals for the Penguins. Definitely not a goal-scoring guy, but had a good game. So the Islanders had their scouting abilities there. They were able to watch the Penguins, and they should be ready to go. The Islanders, of course, lines will be Juan Horvat Heineman, Lee Barzal Palmieri, Shabanov Peugeot Holmstrom, Duclair Sazika Siplikov, and then Romanov and DeAngelo, Pelech Pulak, Schaefer and Mayfield, and then Ilya Sorokin will be starting for the Islanders. And I said I thought this game would definitely be a good game for the Islanders to see how they look in the season. And I think it just becomes more of that with the Penguins win. They looked like a better team than most analysts predicted. Obviously, it's game one, and game ones of NHL seasons really don't matter. It's a long season, of course. But definitely, I think the Penguins were better than I thought they would be. Obviously, there's still a team who has Sidney Crosby, Evgeny Malkin, guys like those, which can easily make them a team who performs. But they definitely played better than I thought, and it's going to be a good challenge for the Islanders. And we're going to see in this game what team are the Islanders. Because if they're not able to compete against a team like the Penguins, that's going to be signs for a long season coming up. But if they're able to perform well and, hopefully we can beat them, we'll get a leg up on the Rags already. And, yeah, so let's see. Hopefully the Islanders come out ready to play. I know the Penguins will be ready to play, obviously having their legs underneath them. I think the Islanders are definitely going to have to ease into the game, break off that rust a little. So I think they might have to weather the storm when the game starts off a little because I think the Penguins will be rearing to go. And the Islanders, of course, haven't played yet. That's the one disadvantage. So they're just going to have to weather the storm early on, or maybe they jump out right out of the gate and try and push, the pressure on the Penguins to see what they can do. So that's kind of going to be those games. The Penguins, of course, in their first game, they didn't score a power play. They went 0 for 1, but they did kill both power plays the Rangers had. The Rangers went 0 for 2. So the penalty kill for the Penguins in the game I watched, they looked solid. The Rangers obviously have a skillful power play unit. Of course, they have guys on that team who can score at will. Doesn't always work, but they definitely do have guys who can score at will, and the Penguins did a good job. So I'm hoping we can see the Islanders power play get on early and see what kind of power play we have under this new system. Hopefully it's a competitive power play because, preseason, we've talked about it. In the grand scheme of things, it really doesn't matter. It's more of a time to work out the kinks on your team and see what the power play can really do. But Penguins had a decent penalty kill. I didn't really follow much of that power play. Penguins did win 52% of the faceoffs. The Islanders are a good faceoff team, so hopefully the Islanders are able to continue that trend of being a good faceoff team. But they always seem to lose the faceoffs when they need to win them the most. So they're like an unclutch faceoff team, I feel like, the Islanders. They win them all the time, except when they actually need to win them, they lose them. So yeah, I'm excited. It's, the best time of the year. The NHL season gets it back going. And I'm super excited. I really hope that we can see an improved season from Duclair, who was injured all year. Sipakov, I hope he improves. Holmstrom, I think, is a solid player. I hope he just continues that gradual, increase of ability that we've seen from him. Shabanov making his NHL debut, and then Barzal back from that injury. Hopefully, everything clicks for these Islanders. I know we have a couple of haters in the comments who don't see any chance the Islanders have, but I just don't know why we should look in this, bad outlook where you just don't care and you're expecting failure. I don't see where the fun is in expecting failure. What's the point of watching a season if you're going into that season just expecting failure? I think that's kind of whatever. I just don't see the reason to look like that. You got to go into a season every season and think that your team has a chance to win the Stanley Cup. Even if the Islanders have no chance whatsoever, I'm going to sit here and believe that every game they can do it. But yeah, that's about all for the preview. The Islanders, of course, there's not much to go on since we have not played a game yet. The Penguins did, and we kind of broke it down. They had to solve that penalty kill. I want to see the Islanders special teams. Is the Islanders special teams improved? I think that's going to be the answer here. This is going to be the key to the Islanders season, to see if we have an improved special teams. And if not, it's going to be a long year once more. And that's really it on the Islanders end. But around the NHL, we got words that it was going to be a big free agent class in 2026. Well, that's just not the case, as all the big free agents are signing. Jack Eichel signed an extension today with Vegas. Kyle Connor signed that extension with Winnipeg. Of course, Connor McDavid signed the 2-year extension with Edmonton. So the, superstar free agency class of 2026 is just not a thing. And I feel like the NHL analysts always say, try and get us excited for these free agency classes, and every year it's just nothing exciting. I mean, I remember them saying this year expect a lot of trades, offer sheets are going to be off the table, and just none of that happened. So for those things, I feel like free agency is kind of a dying way in the NHL because these players stay with their teams or sign with contenders. So I feel like the only way to build a team in the NHL now is through trades and through the draft. And I think the Islanders have moved to that method a little, and we've seen them trading Noah Dobson to improve in the draft class and get a higher draft pick. And yeah, so I think that's the way you have to build successful teams in the NHL. There is no free agency where a superstar is going to come out anymore. I mean, we had Mitch Marner this season, of course, but he went to Vegas, and then it was kind of a sign and trade too, but it was somewhere he wanted to go, and obviously he was going to leave Toronto after everything that occurred there. But yeah, those are the free agency classes are non-existent in the NHL anymore, and it's all about building your team through the draft and through trades. That's how you got to do it. And I think the Islanders are on the right foot forward into moving into that state of hockey to improve the team. But that's about all I got to say. It's opening night. Nothing beats it. As always, let's go Islanders. And if you guys have anything you want to say that you want me to talk about, leave them in the comment section below. Have a good one.